Hi guys, it's Rebecca Fisher from Extra.ie and I am delighted to present Bulmers Sounds from the Secret Orchard. I'll be joined in studio by 16 of Ireland's biggest homegrown talents as we get to the core of what makes a rising star. Today we are joined by the absolutely brilliant Simon James. Hi.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming to my orchard.
Yeah, it's really cool. Love it.
Yeah, we thought we'd, bring a bit of tip to the studio today.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think everybody would really like to hear a little bit about your progression into music and kind of like how this whole venture got started. If it's always been a part of your life, something you've always been interested in, or if it was just like something you kind of fell into.
Yeah, so music has been like a part of my life since like a really young age. So I started pretty much singing when I was like, I'm gonna say 3.
Oh my God.
And then it initially progressed into like dancing, oddly enough. So I went to stage school, I did theatre, so I did like tap dancing, break dancing, hip hop, pretty much you name it, I did it. And then when I got to like 12 or 13, I started watching YouTube videos and tutorials on like teaching myself how to play guitar and keyboard and things like that. And then writing music became a thing that just kind of took over. The dancing kind of took a side seat, and I just fully went into music. And I was watching, I suppose at the time, I was watching the likes of Justin Bieber basically explode onto the planet, One Direction, all of these, and I was like, well, if they can do it, like I just love pop music, writing pop music. I saw them do it, and I was like, well, maybe I can, and that just kind of, I suppose I got the bug, and then I was like, this is exactly what I want to do, and I just kind of honed in on that and kept writing and recording and, honing in on everything I can do at home myself. So producing my own music and trying to release that online, whether it's TikTok or wherever it is, and I've just been kind of keep pushing and writing, and I love it. Like I don't think I'll ever stop.
Oh, I love that. I love when people are kind of like, this is so much a part of me that I actually just can't imagine doing anything else. Oh, such a good vibe. You mentioned there like the likes of some pop legends. We got J Beebs, we got 1D, bit of Niall. We love Niall in this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you say like kind of they would be some of your main influences, or like is your inspiration kind of changed as you've worked and written music?
Yeah, like to be honest, my inspiration really changes on a weekly basis. I would say, because just in the sense that obviously I have my main inspiration. So like I'm a huge fan of like John Mayer, but I also love like John Legend, Charlie Puth. A lot of these kind of classic pop artists as well. Like obviously I love people as far back as kind of Michael Jackson and everything. But like in terms of like it always comes down to nearly what I'm listening to that week will almost influence the song that comes out. So even with some of my newer stuff, it's like I was listening to a lot of Post Malone's newest album.
Oh, nice.
So not that I think anyway, anything like Post Malone, but when it comes to just influences, I pretty much pull and grab from anywhere I can. And I think that's what's interesting about music, is that you don't kind of have to pigeonhole yourself and say, well, this is the only person I listen to, so that's what I'm going to come out with. I pretty much kind of listen to a bit of everything. So
I love that as well, and because like you're obviously saying like your main genre would be pop, and like that's kind of what you would want to go down that route for good. That's like your ride or die.
Yeah.
But like that's not to say you can't like take bits from country or rap or like hardcore metal. Like that's just kind of the cool part of being an artist, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, at the moment I'm falling in love with this guy called Noah Kahan, I think is how you
I love him.
Yes, so
he's
like
so folky.
Really folky, and I heard his stuff like literally only last week, and I've had his album on repeat, so like I don't know, that's probably going to influence something
vibes.
that
then I'll love that, because I've had him on repeat as well. Bit of stick season going off now. So, love that. Oh my God, well. Okay, we've shared something here. We've something in common. We're a bit of a Noah Kahan fan, which is fair. But I'm going to ask you to share some more things. I'm going to ask you to spill some beans, because you know what? We're in the Secret Orchard, and it's just on brand. It's just on theme. You got any secrets for me that people who follow you or who like have you on TikTok or Instagram or Spotify wouldn't know about you?
So I think with me, it's funny because I think being a songwriter, it's kind of almost counterintuitive to have secrets, in the sense that I have to be so open. So I suppose I'm most of the time kind of pouring every emotion that I have or feeling at that time onto a piece of paper, putting it into a song, and then putting it out for everybody to kind of listen to and potentially critique. But I mean, I think it's super important to kind of almost not hold secrets and be open. And I'm a big advocate of kind of pushing towards like positive mental health and things like that. And I've traveled around the country speaking to like young kids in schools, giving talks on mental health and the importance of speaking about it and not holding things in. And I try and make sure I get that across as much as I can, and even if I can carry that into my music, even better again. but it's not much of a secret, but more of just the kind of way I like to kind of carry myself and say, look, I'm an open book, and I think everybody should try and be as well at the best of times that they can.
Kind of like my secret is I don't keep any secrets, and you shouldn't either.
Yeah, basically, yeah, if you want to look at it that way, yeah.
But I have to ask about going into schools, because I find that I used to like do panto myself, and you know, kids can be brutal. Kids can be mean.
I'm going to say, like, I had some of, like, the best gigs in performance. So I went in and did, like, shows. I was speaking about mental health, but I was also performing my songs and music. And kids are brutal. Like, I mean,
so
they like, if they don't like it, they will tell you. Like,
yeah.
I've had kids put their hand up, and I'd have done a few songs, I got a great reaction, had a great time. And like, they'd be just putting their hand, like, oh, can you play something we actually know? And like, this is me after playing like some of the like top songs that are out there. People are loving it. I'm going, I just can't win here.
They make you feel old, don't they? Yeah.
Big time.
You could literally be 5 years in the difference. And
yeah, but I think it's great though. I think the fact that they've just no filter is, you know, I always look at the funny side of it, and I just think it's really funny, but it's great. Like,
I don't envy you, because you couldn't catch me singing in front of one of the kids. I swear to God, I'd be like therapy for a year. God, oh my God. Yeah. Well, speaking of singing, you know, we've got a bit of an older audience here today, so don't worry, there'll be no major critiques, but you've got a few songs for us, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, of course. Would you like to tell me about the first track you're going to sing for us?
So the first track I'll sing is called 27. I suppose the name of the track comes from my birthday when I turned 27. I wrote it in around that time, and it's about coming to grips with hitting a certain age. I feel that people in their kind of mid to late 20s kind of suddenly get this moment of, you know, do I keep doing what I'm really passionate about? Do I keep going for this when really I need to be looking at the realistic side of life here? Or this voice in the back of your head kind of saying, am I good enough? Can I do it? Yeah. And I wrote it about feeling that way no matter what your circumstances are about. You know, me personally with music, and kind of saying, you know, I'm in an industry that's highly saturated and there's an awful lot of, I suppose, me out there. So it's, how can I be heard in such a kind of a crowded industry? And but it's about not giving up and just doing it anyway.
Love that. Well, okay, this is 27 by Simon James.
27 times I've been counting up the lies, and I'm trying to be a wiser man, make a plan for life. Getting caught up in thoughts that are not mine, Cause I've been waiting for so long. 27 years, all gone. Nothing to lose or choose, nothing to hold me back. Cause I'm a man on a mission, entertain you. Will anyone listen to my truth? Cause all these days I'm pulled to a different space to keep me in my place, but you can't take the soul from grace, yeah. Open up your eyes, see there's nowhere left to hide, and I fall into line. Keep your dreams to one side. Are you scared of the day where it all comes to a stop? Yeah, to a stop. Yeah, I've been fearful for so long. 27 years of my life gone. I got nothing to lose. It's time that I don't look back. Cause I'm a man on a mission, entertain you. Will anyone listen to my truth? All these days I'm pulled to a different space to keep me in my place, but you can't take the soul from grace, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I'm falling down, I'm falling deeper. Pull me out to see things clearer. My way out can't take me down. Cause I've been waiting for so long. 27 years of my life gone. I got nothing to prove to you. It's time that I don't look back. Cause I'm a man on a mission, entertain you. Will anyone listen to my truth. Cause all these days I pull to a different space to keep me in my place. But you can't take the soul from grace, yeah. I'm falling down, I'm falling deeper. Pull me out to see things clearer. My way out can't take me down, yeah, yeah.
I have to say, okay, when this song came out, I have a little bit of a soft spot for it because I'm turning 27 this year, and you've hit the nail on the head with that one. You really, really have, because I think it speaks so much to just that age, and just like anyone, I think at that kind of group, it could happen at any age, but like, you know, when you're hitting a milestone, you're nearing in on a double digit that's terrifying, and you
all of a sudden you're in your late 20s then, and it's kind of like, yeah, I know, like it even giving you the shivers already.
Like, I have to go. That's my secret. I'm old. I love that. Okay, well, I will bring it to a lighter now because, Jesus, we don't want to talk about aging, and because that's awful. Live performing.
Yes.
Now, would you find that performing live would be something that you would absolutely thrive off of, or would you kind of put that to the back burner and prefer writing and recording?
I think both scenarios are kind of so different, it's almost hard to compare them, in the sense that, you know, the writing and recording process is a very, I suppose it's very personal.
Yeah.
You know, it's a kind of you go into a different zone where you really have to look inwards.
Yeah.
Whereas I suppose performing is very much your kind of doing it to an audience to kind of entertain people, and the reaction of that gives you such a high that I don't think you can ever really replicate it, and it's amazing. Like, I just love performing, but I love being in the studio. There, you get these little moments in the studio where it's like a eureka of, oh my God, that's exactly the way I wanted to say this. That's the note I was trying to hit. That's the way I want this to sound.
Yeah.
But you'll get the same feeling, but different on a live stage, and they're just, I love both equally. And I think, you know, it's those beautiful moments in the studio that will lead to those, you know, memorable moments on stage.
I love that. I actually really, really enjoy that. I think as well, you know, they do go hand in hand. Like, you'll have something you record in the studio and you're like, I can't wait to see people's faces when they hear this.
Exactly.
And then, but then also, like, you'll be like, okay, this is the one that's going to get them, and then it's a completely different turnout, and the song you didn't think would resonates. So cool.
Yeah. Like
I've
you
ever
can.
been on stage.
It's. I always remember. I worked with a producer called Philip McGee, and it was kind of, he's done stuff for Codaline and things like that, and he was kind of saying that, you know, people, you know, you can't choose what people are going to like.
Yeah.
The people will choose what they like. Whether you release an album, you can't say this is going to be the single, because the reality is they'll pick it for you.
Exactly. Oh God, I kind of love that. Well, okay, we're going to hear another track from you now.
Yes.
Delighted. Can't wait. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this other track is, it's a newer song that I've written, and this one is called Line to Heaven. So I actually co-wrote this with a guy called David Asante. We did it over Zoom. He's based in the UK, and he's written for people like James Arthur and things like that. So we basically, just one morning, I had a concept of, you know, when you would ring somebody, and then there's always maybe going to be a time when somebody doesn't answer. Whether that's, you know, in this specific scenario, it's, you know, keep the ones you love close to you, because one day you'll call them and they won't be there. And, you know, the idea of this, it's this question of, is there a line to heaven? There is, or maybe there's not, and maybe you've missed out on that opportunity. And that's kind of what we wrote it about.
Okay, well, this can be an emotional one, guys. This is Line to Heaven by Simon James.
I hope when I call you pick up. If you don't, then I know that you're gone. The only thing left is an answering tone. I listen on repeat on my own. Wipe the tears from my eyes. Blurry stop signs driving into the night. And I wonder, is there a line to heaven tonight? Can't say that I'm a praying man, and my sins are many, I swear. But if I picked up the phone tonight, oh, I'm living on a prayer. Can 'cause I'm helpless. I don't know what to do. I'm waiting on hold for you. So when I call tonight, I hope God puts me through. So when I call tonight, I hope God puts me through. I hope when I call you pick up, 'cause if you don't, then I know that you're gone. The only thing left is an answer ringtone. I listen or beat on my own. Wipe the tears from my eyes. Blurry stop signs driving into the night. And I wonder, is there a line to heaven tonight? Helpless, I don't know what to do. I'm waiting on hold for you. So when I call tonight, I hope God puts me through. So when I call tonight, I hope God puts me through. I hope when I call you pick up, 'cause if you don't, then I know that you're gone.
Okay, wow. Okay, I have to, I do really feel like that one probably resonates with a lot of people, because even myself, just going through the lyrics, it does make you want to take a step back and really reevaluate your priorities, which is, you've done your job.
Yeah, and I mean that's I think the beautiful thing about music as well. Everyone can interpret the song in their own way.
Yeah.
So I even know that with songs I've listened to, the writer, whoever wrote the song, wrote it about this one thing. But once you write it, it's kind of no longer yours. So what I write it about in that moment is for me. But then once I make the song and sing it, then it's everybody else's for them to take and kind of say, this is what it means to me.
That's so cute. I love that. I feel like, yeah, it's one of those things you can't, again, dictate how people are going to respond to something.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
if they get something out of it, you've still done your job. It's
Exactly.
Still
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the Irish industry, because I feel that's what we're here to do. And the Irish industry at the moment is having such a moment. I genuinely wake up with pride every morning seeing the charts, and I'm like, yes, we've done it again.
Yeah.
How are you finding it yourself? Like, just either be that gigging, releasing music, or just, meeting other artists?
I think it's amazing, and I think the Irish scene, as you said yourself as well, it's kind of, I feel like everybody really has like each other's backs in it, and I don't mean that in the cheesy way, I mean it in a kind of a genuine way. So I think when we see kind of one of our own that's doing well, there's always a real sense of pride that goes with that, and I think it's really great to see, and that like you always feel like you can reach out or talk to other Irish artists, and everybody is always, willing to help each other,
Yeah.
always kind of reach the goals that they want.
I love that. Well, that's a stunning note to end this on. It's like, everybody help everyone. I love it. Well, okay. Thank you so much for joining me in my orchard today, Simon. I am absolutely delighted to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
No problem. Simon James, everybody.